Nobody saw this twist coming. For years, Kirk Frost stood beside Rasheeda, painting the picture of loyalty, stability, and family. But now, the truth is spilling out, and it's uglier than anyone could have imagined. Hidden bank accounts, secret transactions, and stacks of money tucked away behind closed doors. And it didn't take a rumor or a whisper to bring it to light. It took Rasheeda's own lawyer. With ironclad documents in hand, the receipts are undeniable. The world is about to see Kirk exposed in a way he never thought possible. The night was supposed to be quiet. Rasheeda had been at home, scrolling through emails from her attorney, sipping tea, and preparing for yet another exhausting day of balancing family life with her business empire. But what she saw on her screen didn't just take her breath away. It stopped her heart cold. There it was. Page after page of financial documents, all neatly compiled, all undeniably tied to her husband, Kirk Frost. And not a single one of those accounts had ever been mentioned to her. Not once. For years, Rasheeda had stood by Kirk's side, through scandal after scandal, betrayal after betrayal. She had fought to keep her family intact. She had endured whispers, headlines, and cameras capturing her pain in the most public way imaginable. And yet, even after everything, she stayed. But this wasn't just about infidelity or embarrassment. This was about deception, the kind that cut deeper than any rumor. The documents revealed multiple accounts, scattered across different banks, some under Frost's name, others hidden behind shell companies. Large deposits and withdrawals, transactions that didn't match the lifestyle they shared. Thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, disappearing overnight. Rasheeda's lawyer had one question for her as he slid the stack of papers across his polished oak desk earlier that day. Do you want the truth or do you want peace? Rasheeda's answer was clear. The truth, always the truth. Now, staring at the evidence, her hands trembled. She wanted to scream. She wanted to cry. She wanted to storm into the room where Kirk sat watching television and demand an explanation. But for once, Rasheeda held back. She knew this wasn't a battle to be fought with emotions alone. This was war, and in war, you needed strategy. Her lawyer's voice replayed in her mind. He's been moving money for years, Rasheeda, quietly, carefully, almost like he was preparing for something. A rainy day, or maybe an escape route? The thought sent a chill down her spine. Preparing for an escape. Was her husband, the father of her children, really planning to build a life without her? The cameras were rolling that week as Rasheeda stepped onto set, her expression unreadable. Fans who had followed her for years noticed instantly that something was different. She wasn't her usual vibrant self. She wasn't glowing with confidence. No, she looked guarded, heavy with the weight of secrets she hadn't yet spoken aloud. Meanwhile, Kirk walked into the scene with his usual swagger, completely unaware of the storm brewing behind Rasheeda's calm eyes. But Rasheeda wasn't ready to drop the bomb just yet. She wanted to watch him, study him, give him enough rope to hang himself. And when the moment came, she would strike with the force of undeniable proof. Later that evening, during a heated conversation with her, lawyer Rasheeda asked the question that haunted her. How long? Her lawyer didn't flinch. At least 5 years. Some of these accounts date back that far? 5 years. 5 years of smiling in her face, of sharing meals, of raising children, all while keeping financial secrets that could destroy everything they'd built together. The betrayal was staggering. Infidelity was one thing, but financial betrayal, that was survival. That was security. That was a legacy. And Kirk had compromised it all. Word of the discovery began to ripple through their circle. Castmates whispered behind closed doors. Producers smelled the kind of storyline that could shake reality TV to its core. And the more the whispers grew, the more Kirk started to sense something was off. Rasheeda was colder, sharper. She wasn't giving him the warmth or the benefit of the doubt she usually did. One night, while cameras rolled, Kirk confronted her. "What's up with you lately? You've been distant. You've been moving funny." Rasheeda looked at him, her lips pressed into a thin line. "Funny? No, Kirk. I'm just seeing things clearly now. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it." Kirk shifted uncomfortably, brushing it off with a smirk. "You're always looking for something that ain't there. You're paranoid?" But Rasheeda didn't bite. She stayed calm, her silence cutting deeper than any outburst could have. Behind the scenes, her lawyer was preparing the next step. He had enough evidence to not only confront Kirk, but to dismantle every excuse Kirk could possibly throw her way. Account numbers, transaction histories, wire transfers, receipts so ironclad they could hold up in court. The plan was simple: confront Kirk with the documents on camera and let the world see the truth unfold. As the night approached, Rasheeda sat in her dressing room staring into the mirror. The reflection looking back at her wasn't just a wife anymore. It wasn't just a reality star. It was a woman on the edge of reclaiming her power, ready to expose the man who had underestimated her strength one too many times. Her lawyer entered, holding the folder of evidence. "Are you sure you're ready for this?" he asked softly. Rasheeda nodded. "I'm not just ready. I've been ready." He thought he could play me. But tonight, the game ends. The stage was set. The cameras were waiting. And Kirk. He had no idea the walls around him were about to crumble. Because this wasn't just another argument, another scandal, another headline. This was the moment. Kirk Frost's secrets would be dragged into the light by the very woman he thought would never turn on him. And this time, there would be no running, no excuses, no cover dash-ups. The receipts were here. The truth was undeniable. And Rasheeda was done playing his game. The tension was unbearable. The cameras were rolling, the lights blinding, and Rasheeda's heartbeat pounded like a drum in her ears. She held the folder tight in her hands, the folder that contained every lie, every hidden dollar, every betrayal that Kirk had tried so hard to bury. Kirk walked onto the set, his usual cool demeanor intact. He adjusted his chain, looked at the cameras, and smirked like a man who thought he was untouchable. What he didn't realize was that his empire was about to crack wide open. "Rasheeda, you called me here like it was urgent," Kirk said, trying to sound casual. "What's up? Are we doing this on camera?" Rasheeda didn't flinch. She laid the folder on the table between them and slid it toward him slowly. "Why don't you open that and tell me what's up?" Kirk frowned, hesitated, then flipped the folder open. His eyes scanned the first page, then the second. Smirk faded. His jaw tightened. He shifted in his seat, clearly uncomfortable. "What is this?" He muttered. Rasheeda leaned in, her voice steady but sharp. "That's you, Kirk. Your accounts. Your shell companies. Your wire transfers. Money you never told me about. Money you've been hiding." The room went silent. Even the producers behind the cameras stopped moving, their mouths slightly open, knowing they were capturing a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Kirk tried to laugh it off. But the crack in his confidence was clear. "Man, you're really going through? My stuff like this? That's business. You wouldn't understand." But Rasheeda wasn't backing down. Her eyes burned with fury. "Don't you dare try to downplay this as business. We built everything together. Every store, every dollar, every brand. And while I was out here working, carrying this family on my back, you were sneaking behind my back and stashing money like I was the enemy." Kirk threw his hands up, trying to deflect. "You making this bigger than it is. Those accounts don't mean nothing. I was just trying to protect us," Rasheeda snapped. "Protect us. By hiding it from me? By lying to me for 5 years? That's not protection, Kirk. That's betrayal. That's stealing." The documents were undeniable. Bank accounts scattered across different states. Thousands funneled through businesses Rasheeda didn't even know existed. deposits that didn't match their reported income, withdrawals that lined up with nights Kirk couldn't explain, and now the world was seeing it all. Kirk wiped his forehead nervously, his bravado slipping away. Look, it wasn't like that. I ain't out here plotting against you. I was just making sure if things went left, we had something to fall back on. Rasheeda's voice cracked, but not from weakness, from rage. Fall back on or run off with. Which one is it, Kirk? 'Cause from where I'm standing, it looks like you've been planning for a life without me. A backup plan that didn't include. Your wife gasps, rippled through the crew. The cast members standing nearby exchanged stunned looks. This wasn't just drama. This was real. Kirk's eyes darted toward the cameras, then back to Rasheeda. He lowered his voice as if he could somehow contain the damage. You didn't have to bring this out here. You didn't have to make a show of it. Rasheeda leaned closer, her words slicing through him. Oh yes, I did. Because you made me look like a fool in public more times than I can count. You embarrassed me. You humiliated me, and I swallowed it. But this ain't just about me. This is about our kids, our family, our future. And I'll be damned if I let you rob us in silence. Her lawyer stepped forward, placing more documents on the table. Everything here is authenticated. There's no denying it, Kirk. These accounts exist, and the money trail leads straight to you. Kirk's face went pale. For the first time, the man who always had an excuse, always had a smooth line ready, had nothing. He stared at the papers like they were burning him from the inside out. Rasheeda, he said softly, almost pleading now. Don't do this. Don't turn this into something it's not. But Rasheeda's tears finally fell, streaming down. Her face as her voice rose. It already is something, Kirk. You did this. You lied. You took money we built together and you hid it like I was your enemy. Do you know what that feels like? You know what it's like to be married to somebody and realize they've been planning behind your back this whole time? Kirk sat in. Silence, his head hanging low. For once, he didn't have a defense. The cameras zoomed in on Rasheeda's face, a mix of fury and heartbreak. The portrait of a woman who had finally reached her breaking point. But the confrontation didn't end there. As the tension exploded, fellow cast members joined in, shocked at the revelation. Yo, Kirk, one of them said, shaking his head. This ain't right, bro. Got a whole empire with your wife, and you out here stashing money like she don't even exist. That's wild. Mama D, always quick with her commentary, chimed in from the sidelines. See, that's what I've been telling y'all. Some men don't know how to handle a real queen when they got one. Rasheeda deserved better a long time ago. The room erupted with chatter, everyone throwing in their opinions. But Rasheeda's voice cut through it all. I don't need anybody to tell me what I deserve. I know what I deserve. And it damn sure ain't a man who hides money from me. Kirk tried one last time to salvage the moment. He reached across the table, his voice trembling. Babe, listen to me. I messed up. Yeah, but I never stopped loving you. I never meant to hurt you. Can't we work this out? Rasheeda pulled her hand back instantly, her eyes blazing. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't hide. And love doesn't plan for a future without me. The cameras caught every second of Kirk's devastation, every drop of Rasheeda's pain. It was raw, unfiltered, unforgettable. And just when Kirk thought it couldn't get worse, Rasheeda's lawyer dropped the final blow. There's more, Kirk. These accounts weren't just for savings. Some of the funds went places you're going to have a hard time explaining. The room froze. Kirk's eyes widened. Rasheeda's breath hitched. The story wasn't just about hidden accounts anymore. It was about where that money went and what it meant for the future of their marriage. The confrontation had reached its boiling point. But the explosion was just beginning. The room was still. Everyone's eyes darted from Kirk to Rasheeda's lawyer, waiting for the next shoe to drop. The evidence was already damning. That final line, these accounts weren't just for savings, shifted the air completely. Rasheeda's hands clenched tightly together. She could feel her pulse racing, her breath shallow. "What do you mean, where the money went?" she demanded, her voice trembling with both fury and dread. The lawyer took a deep breath, laying down yet another folder on the table. "We traced some of the transfers, Rasheeda. Not only were the funds hidden, but large amounts went to individuals who don't appear to be connected to your businesses. Your home or your family." Rasheeda's eyes narrowed. "Individuals? What individuals?" The lawyer hesitated, his tone careful but firm. "Women, Rasheeda. Consistent payments, regular amounts, sometimes even labeled as consulting fees. But there's no record of these women working for your companies. No invoices, no contracts, nothing." The gasps were immediate. Cast members covered their mouths, crew whispered behind the cameras, and Mama D nearly jumped out of her seat. Lord have mercy. He wasn't just hiding money, he was funding a whole side life. Kirk slammed his fist on the table, his voice booming. "That ain't true. Don't start twisting this into something it's not. Those payments were business." But Rasheeda snapped, her voice cutting through the room like a blade. "Business? Do I look stupid to you, Kirk? You think you can keep lying even when the receipts are staring us in the face?" The lawyer flipped the folder open, sliding out copies of wire transfers, each one with Kirk's name tied to an unfamiliar account. Names of women popped out on the page, highlighted in red. Regular payments, predictable patterns. Rasheeda's tears fell silently as she stared at the documents. "So not only did you hide money from me, but you used it to take care of other women, after everything I sacrificed for you. After all the humiliation I swallowed just to keep this family together." Kirk's face twisted with panic. "Wasn't like that. I wasn't out here living no double life. Those women, they was friends. People who helped me. Wasn't what you think." Rasheeda shook her head, her voice raw with betrayal. "You know what's worse than the lies, Kirk? It's the fact that you keep underestimating me. You keep thinking I won't find out. Keep thinking I'll just forgive and forget. But I'm done being your fool." Her lawyer leaned closer to her. "You have enough evidence now, Rasheeda? Not just to confront him, but to protect yourself. To protect your children. If you want to move forward with legal action, you have everything you need." The camera zoomed in on Rasheeda's face, broken, furious, but slowly hardening with resolve. Kirk reached across the table, desperation dripping from his voice. "Don't do this to us, Rasheeda. Don't let them tear us apart. We've been through too much." But Rasheeda pulled back sharply, her words laced with venom. "You did this to us, Kirk, not them. Not me. You." The entire room was silent. The kind of silence that comes when a chapter closes. When something once unshakable finally shatters, yet the drama didn't stop there. Word of the confrontation leaked almost instantly. Clips from the set surfaced online, snippets of Rasheeda slamming documents onto the table, Kirk stuttering in defense, and Mama D's dramatic outbursts in the background. The internet erupted. Fans flooded timelines with outrage. Rasheeda deserves so much better. Kirk been lying for years and she finally caught him. Others were stunned. He really had secret accounts. Ken paying other women? That's low. Even fellow artists and reality stars began chiming in, some defending Rasheeda, others calling Kirk's actions unforgivable. The Frost family wasn't just in the headlines, they were the headlines. Back in their home, the tension grew unbearable. Rasheeda barely spoke to Kirk, walking past him as if he were invisible. Their children felt the coldness, the heaviness that lingered in every room. And Kirk, he sat alone most nights, replaying the confrontation in his head, realizing that this time he might have truly lost her. A week later, the cameras captured one final emotional moment. Rasheeda sat across from her lawyer again, this time with the weight of a decision pressing down on her shoulders. Papers were on the table. Divorce documents, financial protections, custody arrangements. Her lawyer spoke calmly. "You don't have to decide today, but you need to ask yourself, do you want to keep carrying this pain, Or do you want to take control of your future? Rasheeda stared at the papers, her eyes welling with tears. I don't know if I'm ready to let go, she whispered. But I do know I'm done letting him play me. The cameras caught the moment her hands hovered over the documents, her ring glinting under the lights, a symbol of everything she'd fought for. And everything she might have to walk away from. Meanwhile, Kirk sat in the next room, slumped. On the couch, his phone buzzing non-stop with messages he refused to answer. His eyes were bloodshot, his spirit broken, for the first time. The man who always found a way to wriggle out of trouble seemed defeated. When Rasheeda walked past him, folder in hand, she didn't even look at him. That silence said more than words ever could. The season closed with a haunting image: Rasheeda, driving off into the night. Her face a mix of heartbreak and determination, while Kirk stood in the driveway, watching her taillights fade into the darkness. The narrator's voice cut in. Kirk Frost thought his secrets would never see the light. But in the end, the truth always finds a way. And when it does, it leaves nothing the same. The screen faded to black, and just like that, the world was left asking, is this the end of Rasheeda and Kirk? Or will forgiveness find its way back into a love that's been broken too many times before? One thing was certain: the receipts were out, the betrayal undeniable. And Rasheeda now held all the power. And there you have it, the truth laid bare, and the receipts undeniable. Kirk Frost's secret bank accounts exposed for the world to see, with Rasheeda standing her ground and demanding the respect she always deserved. What started as whispers of suspicion exploded into a scandal that could change their marriage forever. Was Kirk building a safety net? Or was he building a whole new life behind Rasheeda's back? And now that the lawyer has put every detail on the table, there's no hiding, no running, and no excuses left. But here's the real question. Where does Rasheeda go from here? Does she finally walk away from the years of betrayal? Or does she fight one last time to salvage the empire they built together? Fans are already taking sides. Social media is ablaze with opinions. And the drama is only getting started. We want to hear from you. Do you think Kirk deserves another chance? Or is this the final straw for Rasheeda? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. This story has everyone talking, and your voice matters. Stay tuned, because if you thought